Me look at her, she not look at me. Why she angry?
Wow.
Ankur loves her like English picture. My heart goes tee tee tee. My father used to sing that song. आज चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले. I loved that.
मिर्ची पर मेरा नाम है आरजे न्यानेश्वरी एंड इट्स जस्ट अमेजिंग जब आर्टिस्ट हमारे स्टूडियो आते हैं एंड वी गेट टू एक्सपीरियंस द होल जर्नी हियर सिटिंग एंड चैटिंग विद देम. टुडे आई हैव विद मी अंकुर तिवारी. हाय अंकुर, वेलकम टू मिर्ची.
Thank you so much for having me.
It just does not feel like I've met you for the first time because I've already met you through your music.
Oh, that feels good.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be nervous then.
Yeah, you shouldn't be nervous. Actually, I should be in a way nervous because you know when you keep listening to someone's music and then the music does not have a face of its own, and then you see the person and you meet that person. Now you have an association also that this person and the track that you always.
Oh no, I'm going to break the whole idea of me today.
No, but we're here for a very special album, Aaja Nindiya, which just got launched. And यहाँ वाला भी poster देख के it just takes you back to childhood, and as an adult also you want to know more about this. Where did all this start from exactly?
It started off with Zoya, Rima and I deciding that we should start a music label, and we wanted to create interesting music, music that could really have an impact in the independent space, not attached to movies, could also be used in movies yet have its own unique voice. We got in touch with this music label Platoon. So they make a lot of music with children, and they were excited to kind of collaborate in India.
Yeah.
So it was exciting for Tiger Baby Records and Platoon coming together and trying to do something together in the space for children.
Yeah.
Because I personally feel it's a space that's not much has been made, much has been made in a fresh form. India has had a very deep kind of connection with tradition of loris.
Yeah.
But in recent times, not enough has been written. So we felt like lullabies is a kind of first brush with music as you grow up. Could be a good way to start making music with Tiger Baby Records.
Right. And बहुत interesting बात तो यही है कि the first album that you guys have come up with बच्चों के लिए है. And I mean, who would have thought about that, right? मुझे पूछना है कि as a child, do you remember a specific lullaby that always stayed back with you?
My father used to sing that song, आज चल के तुझे मैं लेके चलूं एक ऐसे गगन के तले. I loved that song. Then obviously there's Lalla Lalla Lori. Like, you know, like
everybody's.
And I think like it's the voice of the parents as well. जिस तरह से वो गाते हैं, your caregivers, your parents when they're with you, वो जितने प्यार के साथ गाते हैं तो एक क्या कहते हैं तड़कता भड़कता गाना भी लोरी बन सकता है. तो but I remember I have some very good memories of me falling asleep to the voice of my parents.
That's amazing. And maybe अभी बहुत सारे बच्चे are going to listen to this as well, and this could be their memory of a lullaby.
It'll be lovely if that can happen. I think the least we can do for the young people is कि उनके लिए हम नई ताज़ी memories create करें. एक hopeful world के लिए, एक world के लिए जिसमें वो ये क्या कहते हैं they are going to be the heroes and they are going to take care of this world. So it's important to kind of give back to them.
जब मैं देखती हूँ सारे गाने जो इस एल्बम में हैं, I'm just very curious, okay, that जब मैं टाइटल्स देखती हूँ मुझे ऐसे लगता है in my imagination कि there is a certain chronology to it. Is there a chronology? Is it just like me thinking?
There is a vague chronology इसमें ज़्यादा सोचा नहीं गया है. I think वो सही लगे थे. Also जो गाने जो मैंने compose किए हैं उसमें I have composed them in a similar kind of scale. So वो एक लंबा गाना भी लग सकता है.
Okay.
और अलग-अलग गाने भी हैं. तो musically जैसे अच्छा flow कर रहा था और एक हल्की सी imaginary कहानी है मेरे दिमाग में उसके बारे में भी तो सच भी है और झूठ भी है.
Yeah, because मुझे देखते हुए लगा कि maybe it's like you get ready to sleep and but then there are thoughts and then you go and wander somewhere and then there's still the soothing feeling and then finally at the end you just like go to sleep and feel peaceful. So I was just wondering maybe.
तो उसमें musically for kids I feel it's the musical journey. For the older kids like us.
I'm so glad you said you called us older kids and not adults anymore.
Because I feel like there is a child in everyone, and I think हम लोग ज़्यादा सोचते हैं और जो क्या कहते हैं उसकी वजह से कम सो पाते हैं, तो उसके लिए एक कहानी बुनी गई है जो लोग ज़्यादा सोचते हैं उनके लिए, जो लोग कम सोचते हैं वो म्यूजिकली ही मज़े ले लें।
When you made this album, ऐसा कभी हुआ किसी रात में आपको नींद नहीं आ रही और आपने अपने ये गाने सुने and you fell asleep?
ये इनको सुनते हुए नहीं, पर काफ़ी रातें हुई हैं। इन रिसेंट टाइम्स आई बीन वर्किंग ऑन मल्टीपल प्रोजेक्ट्स जहाँ आप काफ़ी सारा टेंशन, नर्वसनेस, एंग्जाइटी अपने ऊपर ले लेते हैं और उसकी वजह से आपकी बॉडी तो पूरी हताश हो चुकी होती है, पर आपका जो दिमाग है, आपके ख्याल हैं कहीं कहीं भटकते रहते हैं। उनको वापस लाने के लिए क्या कर सकते हैं? तो हर गाने में जो लिरिक्स हैं वो हैं उसमें उसी थॉट से इंस्पायर्ड हैं जो मेरे को खींचते थे वापस होने के लिए। क्या आप अपने लिए इमेजरी क्रिएट कर सकते हैं जिसमें आप डूब सकते हैं, एक इमेजिनरी कहानी में खो सकते हैं, कहाँ जा सकते हैं, तो उन ख्यालों को लेके इसके लिरिक्स लिखे हैं मैंने।
बट वर्किंग विद समवन लाइक अ जोया, जिन्हें हम सारे एज अ डायरेक्टर भी रिकग्नाइज और आइडेंटिफाई हर, you coming from the music space and वो जब आ रही है with her own imagery to it, how was this collaboration? कुछ बदला when you were working with, like what is her contribution or what are her inputs per se in this album?
तो जोया ही नहीं, रीमा भी। जोया और रीमा primarily they are storytellers.
Right.
They use filmmaking as one of the tools to tell their stories. Whether it's you have conversations with them, they've been friends for a long time with me. And whether you engage in a conversation with them about something, whether you're discussing a book or you're discussing a film, the way both of them approach the subject is through the lens of storytelling. और इसमें भी क्या कहते हैं, it's very encouraging to see something like that because stories tend to have circles, full circles, which are very satisfactory.
Yeah.
So they tend to build those circles, they tend to build that comfort where you feel that it's not an aimless kind of journey, that it has a beautiful end which could be a new beginning for something else.
Absolutely. मुझे when I used to study in college, हमारे किसी प्रोफेसर ने बताया था कि as humans ना हमें बहुत पसंद आता है when everything has like a end to it, because it makes us very uncomfortable, no, when there's something really vague जिसका पता नहीं कुछ भी meaning हो सकता है, then your mind just starts panicking in a way.
So that's when you collaborate with storytellers, it's very exciting because they tend to make sense of nonsensical as well. They can make sense of something which may seem chaotic.
Right.
So both Zoya and Reema come from that school where they try and find a nice image in what may seem like chaos to the naked eye.
True, absolutely. मुझे ये पूछना है कि जब इस एल्बम को आप बना रहे थे, considering अभी के बच्चे if they are to listen to these songs, उन्हें बहुत सारी चीज़ें ऑलरेडी वो देख रहे हैं, वो सुन रहे हैं, जो मे बी हम बचपन में जब हमें जो चीज़ें दिखाई जाती थी वो वेरी डिफरेंट फ्रॉम प्रॉब्ली व्हाट दे हैव एक्सेस टू नाउ. क्या एनीवेयर व्हाइल मेकिंग दिस एल्बम डिड यू गिव दिस थिंग अ थॉट कि व्हाट आर टुडेज किड्स लुकिंग एट, और व्हाट वुड दे लाइक, और व्हाट वुड काइंड ऑफ टेक देयर अटेंशन? Was this a thought anywhere in your mind when you were making?
खासे तौर से नहीं था ऐसा मेरा कोई ख्याल कि मैं ये सोच के बताऊं कि उनको क्या चाहिए. इसकी जैसे मेरे नेफ्यूज़ हैं, नीसेस हैं, जब मैं उनके साथ समय बिताता हूँ और क्या कहते हैं समटाइम्स आई ट्राई टू पुट देम टू स्लीप इन द नाइट, तो एक इमेजिनरी कहानी उनको सुनाते रहते हैं, उनके लिए एक मनगढ़ंत लोरी गाते हैं. तो उसी एक्सपीरियंस को मैं फॉरवर्ड कर रहा था कि मैं अगर अपने नेफ्यूज़ और नीसेस के साथ बैठूंगा, उनको सुनाऊंगा तो क्या होगा वो. तो उस हिसाब से मैंने लिखना शुरू किया था. इस बारे में मैंने खासा ध्यान नहीं दिया कि उनको क्या सुनना है, क्योंकि उनको दे आर इन इनपुट मोड इन देयर लाइफ, दे वुड टेक एनीथिंग. And they are already taking so much. But yes, definitely you listen to them, you hear them and you feel कि अच्छा इस तरह की बातें चल रही हैं, तो उस तरह के कहते हैं vocabulary से, उस तरह की कहते हैं imagery से आप कुछ चीज़ें निकाल सकते हैं. पर ये मैं सुनाना चाहता था उनको.
Absolutely, and it has come out very beautiful. मुझे लगता है कि more than age wise जो बच्चे हैं उनसे भी ज़्यादा हम जैसे बड़े बच्चों को इसकी ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है, because like you rightly said, we have a lot of sleepless nights these days and we need something जो हमें थोड़ा सा बचपन में लेके जाए, थोड़ा सा याद दिलाए किस चीज़ की. मुझे I want to talk about वगैरह वगैरह of course, because बायस है मेरा पर्सनल. आई वॉन्ट टू नो बिकॉज उस गाने से मेरा एक ऐसा नाता जुड़ गया है कि इवन इफ आई लिसन टू एनी ऑफ योर अदर सॉन्ग्स, द इम्पैक्ट दैट दैट सॉन्ग क्रिएट्स प्रोबेबली बिकॉज उससे एसोसिएटेड जो मेमोरी है. आपसे मुझे पूछना है, जैसे मेरे लिए दिस वॉज माई लव सॉन्ग, द सॉन्ग दैट आई शेयर विथ माई पार्टनर. Did you ever have such a love song in your life, which you probably shared with someone special?
Yeah. All my songs are like, multiple stories combined into one. Feelings, they come from my real life.
Yeah.
They come from experiences that I have experienced firsthand. And that's the beautiful thing about independent music, that you're not writing to a brief. The brief is your life.
Wow.
So, आपके कुछ ज़िंदगी में होता है, you try and turn it into something interesting, and it could be anything. It could be any feeling. It could be a feeling of love. It could be a feeling of a broken heart. It could be a feeling of jealousy. It could be a feeling of greed. And I feel that art has this beautiful way that you can convert even something as dark as jealousy into
something creative,
something nice, which can turn somebody's day into a beautiful day.
True.
So I feel like that's almost like music is like therapy, like that way.
Yeah.
So you extract emotions from your life, feelings from your life, and try and give them an audio or a physical form.
But because अभी आपने ये कहा कि आपका brief the living life ही है, कभी ऐसे होता है कि there comes a point where आपको लगता है कि यार right now I don't have any new experience that I can turn into something that's art. Do you get such points in your life?
Yeah, you're constantly. I think you're constantly in that thing and constantly not in it. It's like as a songwriter, you're always writing songs.
Right.
Like you always, like you train yourself into a way, whether you are in a car and you notice something in the street, you meet somebody, you experience something, to something, you while reading a book, you in an imaginary world, you extract something from there. You keep on like putting things together, and I feel when you write stuff, you don't end up writing it. I don't know how to explain it. It's not that you end up writing it, but you kind of are a medium through which those collected material it takes form. So it's not like abhi meko likhna, abhi nahi likhna. You're writing all the time, and then you kind of tap into what you have collected, feelings that you've collected, and वो या अच्छा वो था, अच्छा ये था, उससे मिले थे, उसने ये कहा था, ऐसा महसूस किया था, वो सब इकट्ठा होके कुछ बन जाता है.
Right. So when you're not writing is also when you're writing actually
and
in your mind.
And when you're writing, you're not writing.
Wow. एक चीज़ तो मुझे इस बार में तो आपको पूछना ही है, because ये एक ऐसा प्रोजेक्ट है कोक स्टूडियो भारत of course, जहाँ पे बहुत लोगों को ये सरप्राइज हुआ कि why is Ankur Tewari not singing, because that's the basic expectation that anybody would have. But बहुत मैंने आपका एक आर्टिकल पढ़ा जहाँ आपने ये मेंशन किया है कि why is it like that, क्योंकि you're looking at newer people and you want to be there for them so that they get a platform. वो सारा coming around आप कर रहे हो. A little bit about what's your idea behind curating per se Coke Studio Bharat this time.
I mean, the idea is exactly what you said. The idea is to try and find interesting talent that deserves the stage. Not that I don't deserve the stage. I would love to be on it. But I always kept myself as a backup. When I'll be out of ideas, I'll, say for instance, I don't find a singer, I don't find somebody, then koi nahi hai, I have to deliver the song, I'll take the stage and take the forefront. But fortunately, there is such amazing talent. I don't need to be there. And it's a great opportunity for, India, Bharat to be showed in the way it is, which is young. We are the youngest country in the world. The spotlight should be on young, and I kind of am not as young as I used to be. So it would have been amazing if I got the opportunity like this when I was young.
Right.
So why should I steal that opportunity from the younger ones right now? So I kept myself as a backup कि कहीं कुछ मेरे को idea नहीं आएगा. But mainly it's they've stolen the light, and then they've really been so beautiful, amazing, shockingly crazy talented. And with the confidence that you would love to see them, truly the flag bearers of the new India.
Right. कुछ ऐसे लोग जिन्हें हमें अब तक हमने Instagram पर उन्हें देखा था और हमने उनके reels और गाने बहुत share करे थे. Those are the people that we are going to see in Coke Studio Bharat. It's just amazing.
Wouldn't it be exciting? Like I feel like you feel that I feel some people might get that feeling कि we heard them first before the world heard them.
Yes.
And I feel that that's such a beautiful feeling, because then you own them. then you feel कि अच्छा एक बार मैंने किसी कैफे में उसको गाते सुना था, अब देखो इतना बड़ा कर, एक मैंने उसकी रील शेयर करी थी और अब देखो कैसा गाना गा रहे हैं, क्या हो रहा है. I feel like that's so exciting for me also. It's really exciting.
I felt that when I saw Mansa's picture, I guess, and she had written a very nice post. This is exactly जब आपका पहला launch हुआ and पूरा event हो गया था. And तब तक I didn't know. And when I saw, because I've been following her and I've been sharing her videos like you know any other person would on Insta. And cut to मैं देखती हूँ कि उसके लिए भी वो कितना बड़ा moment है, where she's just not being able to even express it 100% कि उसे क्या exactly लग रहा है, that she's flown down here for this event.
It's for all of us. Like for me also, being there was like you, like as a young musician, I always dreamt to be on Coke Studio or to be associated with amazing musicians. Just to be in that room with such like buzz of energy, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and also because Coke Studio, according to me, मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि हम में से बहुत लोग जब Coke Studio का वीडियो देखते हैं, even in the very growing up years per se, कुछ फीलिंग ऐसी आती थी कि यार हमें कुछ इसमें से एस्थेटिकली ज़्यादा पता है, इसलिए हम कोक स्टूडियो के वीडियोस देख रहे हैं. इट वाज नॉट एनी नॉर्मल वीडियो जो कोई भी शेयर कर ले. कोक स्टूडियो देखना, उसके बारे में बोलना एंड having conversations like, oh you have you heard Husna and oh have you heard this. It used to be like, oh my god, आपने कोक स्टूडियो सुना है, oh मैंने कोक स्टूडियो पाकिस्तान पे सुना है. It used to be a culmination and a cult formation, I feel.
I find it very exciting, and also find really exciting conversations about which Coke studio is better, which is this, what is that, because I'd rather have those debates than stupid debates in my life.
True.
You know, I'd rather say this is more beautiful than this, and if you're comparing two music pieces, what better can you be?
Yeah, true. But मुझे ये बात पूछनी है कि जैसे कि आपने ऐसे क्यूरेट किया है जिसमें बहुत सारे लोग जो सोशल मीडिया थ्रू आए हैं, बहुत सारे लोगों को प्रॉब्ली आप इवेंट्स में मिले हो एंड उनका परफॉर्मेंस आपने वहाँ पे देखा है. When you see someone, especially through social media, for you as a curator or for you as someone who picks talent, what क्या मायने ज़्यादा रखता है? Does the followership or the numbers per se matter? Or is it purely based on what is the soul connection that you feel? Yeah, what does the music piece make you feel per se as a human? इन दोनों में से exactly आपके लिए ज़्यादा अहमियत क्या रखता है?
मैं तो म्यूज़िक बना ही इसलिए रहा हूँ कि मुझे नंबर से ज़्यादा दोस्ती नहीं है मेरी. तो अदरवाइज मैं कोई मैथमेटिशियन होता या बैंकर होता कहीं पे. बट इट्स हाउ द म्यूज़िक मेक्स यू फील, कितना ऑनेस्ट आपको लगता है. लाइक यू सी in this season also we've used artists who are completely fresh, brand new, and they're not they hardly have any numbers, but when they do something you feel something.
आपने अब तक जितने गाने बनाए हैं और through the entire body of your work, किसी भी एक गाने की बैक स्टोरी हमें जाननी है, because a lot of times we don't know what goes behind the scenes. So just as a very curious follower of your music,
आप किसी गाने पूछे तो मैं
you know which song I would say. I'm very biased, yeah.
वगैरह वगैरह, you like वगैरह वगैरह, I'm very happy. It's a story about I feel like in the relationships that I have been with, the women, they're amazing with detail, and men generally they're not so good with detail. They kind of have a gaze of the bigger picture, and I'm generalizing right now, it's been my life. There have been people, men otherwise and women otherwise as well. But I find it very exciting how sometimes for my female friends detail is so important and interesting, whereas for men it is not. So I wanted to write a song about what goes through a woman's mind when she falls in love. And I realized कि इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा कथा बन जाएगी वो, because it will be like really detailed and I'll have to go through a lot. So I got really stuck in a jam. So then I thought, okay, let me write it from a point of view of a man who, as I can understand. And it was very simple, a 2-minute song, which is very foolish. And it's about, I love you a lot, but I forget the details. So it's like, this was what happens to me when you come into my life, this is what happens to me, this is how you make me feel, this is what happens, and oh, what else was there, oh, etc., etc. That's how and that thought was very exciting, that even that etc., you feel that there are some details that are there, but you can't remember them.
Yeah, it's stunning, the whole...
It's stupid.
No, I know, we loved it because, you know, this is such a colloquial term, this is, वगैरह वगैरह, right? And who would have imagined कि ये गाना बनेगा जिसमें there's a story of its own. Like for us, it's amazing.
Nice, thank you so much.
It's really has a very special
Please pass
place
it on
in
to
my
more friends of yours.
I already do. Like a lot of people know that मेरे playlist में ये गाना है और मैं बहुत बार when people
to Rebecca,
I keep sharing this song, but in particular,
give it to her.
I will give it to her for sure. But especially in the same album because it was side A and side B. मुझे ये पूछना है कि it's such a cassette thing, yaar, and it's such a tape thing, and it's so nostalgic. Are you a person who's a very old soul in general?
I am an old soul. I am an old soul. Like
I mean, after Coke Studio, you've just made this very, like you've just put it out कि भाई ये सारे young लोग हैं, मैं बहुत पुराना हूँ. That's not the case.
पर हम हैं इतने नए भी नहीं हैं, काफी सालों से लगे हुए हैं. Like my first brush with music was on vinyl, then tapes. Both had that nostalgic element of listening to the whole thing. When I started recording music, I was recording it analog. Digital was not there. We couldn't afford computers. We were recording on tape. It was not easy. It was expensive, and it was fun in its own way. And then you saw the young kids come in and make studios in their living rooms and in their bedrooms. The whole world changed.
True.
And it's exciting to see and fly with the wind.
Yeah, true. As a musician, आपको लगता है कि travel has a very special place in the whole creative process, and if yes, then do you have like your top 2 or 3 travel songs जिन्हें आप travel करते हुए सुनना बहुत पसंद करते हैं?
That I have written?
That you have written, or in general that are always there on your playlist?
I mean, I keep on making playlists. Again, from a sense of nostalgia, it reminds me of how I used to make tapes for girls.
Yeah. Are you a person who would make a playlist for someone's birthday or someone's whatever and share? Oh my God.
I always make playlists and I keep on sharing with friends.
Yeah.
What I feel, and
amazing.
It could be anything. It could be a vacation that you are on, the songs you're listening to, or it could be a mood. It could be a great movie that could inspire a playlist, and I love making playlists.
Yeah.
So it's different songs at different times. Like you listen to different moods. वो क्या कहते हैं, कई बार कार में बैठे बैठे जा रहे होते हैं, बनाते रहते हैं playlist as you are going around. So yeah, there are lots of songs for different things, and it inspires my music. Like Aaja came like that in Goa. And then Dil Beparwa came in Shillong. Just like that because of the travel. So there are various songs that come with different places.
One last question I want to ask you is, when you started out thinking कि मुझे music करना है, of course उसके बाद आपने resources ढूंढे होंगे, उसके बाद आपने अपना एक journey शुरू किया होगा. Cut to where you are at Coke Studio Bharat, mentoring a bunch of people out there. If I take you back to that day where you decided to yourself कि मुझे इसमें करना है, जो भी करना है, is this the same Ankur that you envisioned that time?
Not at all.
What was that like then?
तभी अभी जैसे ही थे, बेवकूफ़ टाइप के थे. मतलब it didn't make any sense to make music. But you were doing it because you just felt कि हाँ मज़ा आएगा. मुझे बिल्कुल भी यकीन नहीं था कि मुझे इतना ज़्यादा वक्त लगेगा अपना म्यूज़िक निकालने में, और इतना मुश्किल होगा एक तरीके से. मुझे बहुत ही कहते हैं, I was a small town naive boy. मुझे लगता कि मैं जाऊँगा, सबको मेरा म्यूज़िक बहुत पसंद आएगा और अगले दिन एल्बम बन जाएगी और बहुत मज़ा आएगा, फिर चला बनाते रहेंगे गाने. हुआ नहीं वैसा, काफ़ी टाइम लग गया. So that person was much more naive, and sometimes I wonder कि अगर आज मुझे फिर से उसी मुकाम पे आना पड़ा और मैं वहाँ पे हुआ, क्या मैं फिर यही डिसीजंस लूँगा? शायद नहीं, क्योंकि इतनी ज़्यादा दुनिया देखने के बाद आप थोड़े क्या कहते हैं cynical हो जाते हैं.
Right. But now when you have a thought in your mind of a new album, अब क्या difficulty आती है? What is that biggest stone maybe, or the hurdle that stands?
It's not a hurdle, but it's always you feel कि किसी को, like I think 2 चीज़ें हर आर्टिस्ट के दिमाग में रहती हैं, irrelevance and कोई सुनेगा कि नहीं सुनेगा, फिर लोग किसी को पसंद आएगा नहीं आएगा. आपको क्योंकि आप लिखते अपने लिए हैं, और उसके बाद फिर आप एक होप करते हैं अपनी फिंगर्स क्रॉस करके, जब वो रिलीज़ होने वाला होता है शायद काश लोगों को पसंद आ जाए. फिर कई बार नहीं आता है, और कई बार आप कुछ बनाते हैं और वो बिल्कुल ही अंडर द रेडार फ्लाई कर जाता है, कोई देखता नहीं है. फिर कई साल बाद कोई देखता है और हमें बताया नहीं. तो
and it's happening a lot in social media age कि अचानक one song just comes back and then everybody goes back and you realize कि ये तो कुछ साल पहले का है गाना.
तब मेरे को चाहिए था उसका क्या कहते हैं validation, तब मिला नहीं.
But
somewhere you feel nervous about the validation, and you feel nervous about how people are going to receive it. but it only happens once you've finished making the product. While you're making your song, while you're making your music, you're writing it, you are lost in your own world. जब खत्म हो जाता है तब आपको लगता है. That's why I love that the word release, because it's really a release. When you release something, then everything is released and you're empty.
Yeah.
And then you know, okay, where am I, what's happening, and then these thoughts start coming to you.
Yeah. I said last question, but this is legit the last question because you said something and that just brought me to this point कि अब के ज़माने में do you think having an idea for a song, having your own thought is enough? What else is needed to be out there?
What else is needed?
I'm just asking you. Is anything else needed?
Idea.
Is like a branding needed, or do you need someone who tells you that you need to look a certain way and you need to present a certain way?
I mean, yeah, I would feel that everything is needed and nothing is needed. The most important thing is what's your idea and what's the story you're telling. If there's no story, there's no point of branding and there's no point of that.
True.
So definitely, it's not that you can hide under a rock and hope that the world notices you. You should, that is important, and that's always been important.
Yeah.
At the same time, the primary thing is what are you saying?
Okay, so now we're going to have a little segment which I make all the musicians do when they come here, because I'm very curious कि पिक्चर को देख के क्या मेमोरी आती है. सो ये फोटोज आपके ही इंस्टाग्राम में से स्क्रीनशॉट ली हुई हैं, जिनमें से कुछ आपको दिखाऊंगी एंड आप बताइए कि आपके दिमाग में सबसे पहले कौन सा गाना आता है. ओके, सो फर्स्ट इज दिस वन.
That immediately think about that.
Yeah, the first song that could probably come to your mind.
ये नैन डरे डरे ये जाम भरे भरे.
Oh, I love that song. Okay, I'm gonna select.
That'll look like a fool. This was my बना है यारों से मेरा जहां.
Oh, can you sing a line or two for us, please?
किसी गम से न चिल्लम से तेरी रम से नहीं बना है यारों से मेरा जहां.
Amazing.
इसमें ऐसे तू रहते नहीं दूर रहते नहीं.
Okay, a very interesting one.
इसके लिए I love this one. Ding dong ding ding dong ding 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 dong ding ding dong ding 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 ding. Sing in English, ab gao in English, ding dong ding. This is a song I don't sing usually. It's not recorded. I sing it live. Me look at her, she not look at me. Why she angry?
Wow.
Ankur loves her like English picture. My heart goes tee tee tee. मेरी मानो छोड़ो ये सब मस्त रहो खाओ पियो ऐश करो खुश रहो नया.
Wow, that was fun. Okay, last one.
Oh, wow, this was in England, no. गनीमत है तू है यहाँ जीने में आए मजा.
Amazing. And for me, please 2 lines of वगैरह वगैरह before you go.
सामने मैं हूँ सामने तू मन में छिपा जो कैसे कहूँ छोटी सी ख्वाहिश और जुस्तजू मन में छिपा जो कैसे बयां करूं तेरे आने से थम जाती है ज़मीं रुक जाता है जहां लड़खड़ाती है ज़ुबान तेरे आने से हाँ तेरे आने से भूल जाता हूँ मैं सब वगैरह वगैरह.
Thank you so much, Ankur, and all the best for your album. And
Thank
we're really
you.
hoping a lot from Tiger Baby Records as well.
Thank
and of
you.
course from Coke Studio Bharat, because that's
Lovely.
like very close to our heart in general.
Please share the songs with everyone
For sure.
and spread the love.
For sure.
I love the idea that we're making songs because
Yeah.
the world can always do with more songs.
Yeah, true.
And if you can share it, it'll be lovely.
We'll definitely do that. Thank you.
Thank you.